There is one thing that people who build anything really focus on. And because of that, some other things that I think are really important don't get focused on enough. And I'm going to talk about those things in this video, which has really improved my life and the way I work. I'm building a shelving unit for my garage workshop, and I'm going to add additional storage, which I haven't seen done online yet. Now, that doesn't mean it hasn't been done, it just means I haven't seen it. Now, did you notice how horrible the dust collection is on my miter saw? And I know I don't have a shop vac hooked up to it, but this miter saw isn't very conducive to hooking up a shop vac. And I'm going to fix that dust collection, and spoiler alert, it involves getting rid of this saw. So what do I think people focus on way too much when they start out woodworking and using power tools? I think too much fear is given to the table saw blade and cutting off fingers on the table saw. Now let me be clear, the table saw is dangerous and all safety precautions should be taken before and during using the table saw. But I feel like too many times I've heard people are scared to start building or woodworking because they're nervous about using power tools and specifically the table saw. If you learn how to use the table saw properly, take all safety precautions, and are alert and not distracted while using the saw, your chances of getting injured are extremely low. And there is one thing that I think should be focused on more than it is, and if you've watched my content before, you can probably guess what it is. One shelf structure built, 4 to go, but I won't bore you with how I built those because it's the exact same process. So now I'm cutting spacers on the miter saw so that when I attach the legs to the shelves, the spacing can be perfect. I'm just using screws to attach the legs to the shelves, and I ended up having to take some screws out because when I tried to attach the second shelf, the legs didn't really line up, but it was a really simple fix. What I have been focusing on the past 2 years, and what I think more people should have in the forefront of their mind if they have any sort of workspace or workshop, is storage and space efficiency. This is going to have a lot of storage because it will have 5 shelves, but I'm going to add even more storage to this unit by adding a French cleat wall. And if you don't know what a French cleat is, you are in for a treat. Can you figure out what I'm doing wrong here? Upside down. Awesome. There I am being silly, but that's not the only time I will be a silly goose in this project. I am in a one-car garage workshop, so space is at a premium. So every time I build furniture like this, I need to maximize my space and maximize the storage capabilities. That is why I built a miter saw station that has foldable wings, why I have a flip-top tool cart that holds 2 large power tools, why I have a folding workbench, and why here I'm adding a French cleat wall to this shelving unit that already has a lot of storage. I'm securing this shelving unit to the wall so there is no chance that it falls over because I have 2 young kids and eventually they may climb on this when I am not looking. A lot of garages have a cement step, mine included, and although I have done 0 research onto why that cement step is there, I need to cut the back legs so that this will fit flush against the wall. But if you know why that cement step is there, please let me know in the comments. You would think that after I mark exactly where this step lines up with the back legs and I cut those legs exactly to that line, that all 4 legs would sit perfectly level with the ground, but you would be wrong. I don't normally wear gloves when I work on my woodworking projects, but a company sent me some gloves, so periodically you will see me wearing gloves like I am here when building this project and securing it to the wall. And it was actually really nice. Will I wear gloves in the future? Probably not, but for this project, it kept the splinties out of my fingies. I'm excited to see how many people stop watching the video after that little phrase, but even though the legs didn't line up perfectly with the ground, I just cut 2 little pieces of wood and glued them to the bottom of the front legs, and it was a very simple fix. Okay, we've made it to the French cleat wall, and I'm really excited to build this and put this on the shelving unit because it's going to give me a ton more storage space. The French cleat system is basically one piece of wood with a 45-degree angle secured to a wall, and a matching piece with a 45-degree angle secured to a tool holder, and it's a great way to hold tools and accessories very securely. Let me know if you think I need a brad nailer, but it was actually oddly satisfying to hammer in all these nails. And in a few minutes, you'll see how I make the tool holders for two specific accessories that I have in my shop. And it was really nice to be able to make holders for my exact needs. I have written and video plans for this DIY shelving unit. Just go to thomascustomwoodworks.com, or I'll have a link in the description below if you're interested. Let's see if you can figure out what I'm doing wrong as I secure this French cleat wall to the unit. So there's a reason that the middle screws were not digging into the wood, and that is because there's nothing behind the plywood for them to dig into. I was being silly. One strategy I use fairly often when gluing pieces together, especially small pieces like this, is using CA glue and wood glue together. I'm putting wood glue and CA glue on the piece and then spraying accelerator on the matching piece. So when I put those pieces together, the CA glue dries in about 20 seconds and acts as a clamp, so I can keep working on the piece and don't have to wait hours while the wood glue dries. This holder is for the different thicknesses and colors of CA glue I have. And let me know if you think I used enough screws on this piece. I really don't think I did. I probably could have fit in a few more for extra security. I'm securing the matching 45-degree angle piece to the back of this holder, and this is what's going to hook into the French cleat wall. I'm next going to be making a holder for my micro jig gripper, and then off camera I'll make holders for my lathe tools so that they'll be more easily accessible when I use my lathe. And that's the great thing about the French cleat wall, is you can customize it to your needs and the tools and accessories you have in your shop. To improve my miter saw desk collection that I talked about earlier, I will be building a brand new miter saw station for a new miter saw, and that will be my very next YouTube video that will come out soon, so watch out for that. Respect your power tools, but don't be afraid of them, and always strive to improve your storage and maximize your space. Lastly, be kind and be awesome.